Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier taking a look at race number 8 at Gulfstream Park, one of 8 graded stakes races on the card, a potentially important Kentucky Oaks prep. It's the Grade 2 Davona Dale Stakes. All of our stakes previews this week presented by DRF Bets. If you sign up for a new account, you'll be rewarded a $200 free bet, no deposit required. Head on over to drf.com/join, use the promo code FREEBET09 to access that $200 free bet. Let's take a look at the field. A 3-year-old filly's going to one-turn mile at Gulfstream Park on Saturday afternoon. Even money on the morning line for the number 8, Fly So High. 2 for 2 at a mile for Shug McGahee. 2 recent blowout wins with big buyer speed figures. She's got the fig edge. Now she's got to step up in class.
You know, she could probably work out the ideal trip in here, but I don't know about you, Dan. That most recent race, not only was it a field that was a little bit lackluster, the runner-up and the third-place finisher came back to earn mid-70 and mid-60 buyers on turf, but I don't know. On the far turn, it looked like she'd go off and win by 100. Now, I know she won by over 5 lengths, but I guess I just expected a little bit more than what we got from a fig standpoint. She lays over this field. At even money, I don't know that I'm in a rush to bet her.
I got to use her in the multi simply because those last 2 figs, they're just superior to what everything else has basically been running, and if she could work out a good trip behind a hot pace. You're right, I thought she was going to win by daylight turning into the stretch. She still won by 5.5. I mean, right. that's nothing to sneeze at, but maybe she just got a little bit green and was looking around when she made the front. But off that race, she's going to be dangerous. I guess the established horse in this race is the number 6, Take Charge Paula. All she's done is win her last 3 races. She's already won a graded stakes this Gulfstream meet, the Forward Gal, where she beat 3 of these common foes. She's got a positive Kieran McLaughlin formulator fact, 30% winners over the past 5 years, with last out-winning 3-year-olds on dirt, making the second start of the form cycle. I guess the concern with Take Charge Paul is this: she really hasn't gotten much faster over her last 4 starts, and if you think she's plateaued at the high 70 range, she could be in trouble.
Yeah, she could be. I guess that's really the thing that you need to make a call on. Do you like the Forward Gal, and do you think that form right now is good enough to get it done? Or do you want a fresh face like one of the 2 horses drawn to the outside? I think if there's anyone that I'm going to take coming out of the Forward Gal, no question, it's this filly, because she shows up. She's got beautiful tactical speed. She likes to win races, which is something that a lot of these girls don't like to do. And she should be in a very good position throughout again.
From a wagering standpoint, what makes her attractive is that she has the credentials to be the favorite in this race. She is right now 5-1 on the morning line. You could argue that's a fair price on a filly. All she's done recently is win races. Let's take a look at the Timeform US pace projector, because Take Charge Paula likes to be forward. Timeform US has her out there on the lead. That red bar could work against her.
Certainly could, especially if you have any concerns about the distance. I don't think a mile is going to be a problem, but if you're a little bit dubious of that, if she's going to have to work hard and now get an extra 8th, maybe that works against her.
A horse that's sitting 4th in that pace projector, the number 4, Alter Moon. Well, she hasn't been headed for the lead in 2 starts thus far. Obviously, she's going to face pressure in this spot. She won a maiden race last time out for a trainer that's done most of his damage in Puerto Rico. Let's take a look at Alter Moon's formulator fact. Jose Velez over the past year's perfect, with 3-year-olds on dirt, last out, winning 3-year-olds at that, making the first start after a layoff of 45 days or greater. Limited positive data. This horse was getting a little bit tired at the end of that maiden win, going 7, and I'm worried if she faces pace heat against better horses. I'm worried about the mile. 15-1 though is a good price.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want to take a flyer, why not a horse like this where all she does is go out there and run? You know she's going to be forward, but I agree with you. She's facing much better horses. That field she beat was absolutely dreadful, and now she's going to have to stretch out to a mile off of a layoff. To me, too many things going against her.
Heaven Has My Nikki won her first 2 races, was the pace setter in the Forward Gal, could not contain Take Charge Paula late. It's her 3rd start of the form cycle, however. I have a feeling that this time around they're going to sit. That's what worked very, very well in start number 2. Her non-winners of 1 win at Gulfstream on January the 15th. I think she's going to be more patiently ridden by a rad.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they sit just a little bit off, if you think that the 4 horse is going to go, if you think there's going to be a little bit more heat from Take Charge Paula where she goes off a little bit more, maybe Heaven Has My Nikki is the one that can get first run. I still have concerns about how far she wants to go ultimately when it's all said and done, but I think she's okay.
I'm a fan of Sultry. She did not break well from the rail in the Forward Gal. Really, I don't think that made too much of a difference because she doesn't have much speed anyway. I think she was hurt a little bit by the track, which was a bit inside and speed favoring. She came with a run. She galloped out past the winner, Take Charge Paula. But for the first time in a long time, she didn't change leads in the stretch, and that worries me a bit.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think she's going to get a fair setup in here from a pace standpoint, but no lead change coming from way out of it. Anytime you come from way out of it at Gulfstream Park, I'm going to be terrified. I think she's okay. I would use her underneath.
Sunny Skies has some credentials. She is graded stakes placed, a stakes winner, and she's going turf to dirt and route to sprint for Kenny McPeek. And McPeek has a good formulator fact to consider. Again, limited data, but a $5 ROI over the past 2 years. When he does this, 3-year-olds off of a medium-sized layoff, moving from turf to dirt in route races. Something tells me, though, that Sunny Skies might be better at slightly shorter distances.
Slightly shorter, and there's a part of me, I know that they only tried it in the Jessamine, and I'm not holding that against her, but she's a half the Sky Cape who won the La Jolla. You see Animal Kingdom. There's a part of me that wonders, ultimately, is she going to end up being a turf horse?
Take note that in her last dirt race, though, she finished ahead of both Sultry and Take Charge Paula, the 1-2 finishers of the Forward Gal. She fits from a class standpoint. Miss Momentum is 2 for 2 at a mile, including a win at Gulfstream 2 back, where she won by basically a country mile. My concerns going into the Forward Gal were those wins. I thought she was a little bit dressed up. One by an off-the-turf race where she got a nice pace set up, and then in the Hut Stakes, she just caught a sealed, sloppy track that she loved. I was disappointed with the Forward Gal, but maybe getting back to a mile in a race with some pace can help her out.
I suppose, I needed some sort of an effort in the Forward Gal. She came up completely flat, and maybe it was the layoff and she needed one and she can take a step forward. But I find it interesting that the 2 big races on her page, one was an off-the-turf race, the other one was a sloppy sealed racetrack. It makes me wonder if she just needs kind of all the stars to align for her to run her best.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Davona Dale Stakes. You really like the number 7 Cash. Our colleague Mike Beer really was impressed with this horse's career debut. I know you were as well. She did a lot of good things.
Yeah, she really did. Going down the backside for a first-time starter, she was as professional as it gets. She rolled up on the far turn. She put a couple lengths between her and the second-place finisher. And then the minute Javier showed her the stick, things got all crazy. She started drifting in and out, changing leads. She's very green. Now, and that's my big concern with a race like this. You've got a horse like Take Charge Paula, who maybe the ceiling is not as high as it is for Cash. But I know Take Charge Paula is professional right now. And if Cash gets into a pitched battle with someone, is she going to react the way that she did in that maiden score? Because if she does, I don't know that she's going to win. There's just a part of me that this is nothing more than a play for upside, but you got to factor in the value, and I have a sneaky feeling she's going to get hammered at the windows.
Well, she's 6-1 on the morning line. What odds would you take?
I probably wouldn't take anything less than 7-2, and I think she might be vying for favoritism when it's all said and done. I think the outside 2 horses are going to get bet.
She did beat 3 next out winners in that race. The 5th-place finisher came back to win by 8 lengths with an 81 buyer. Take Charge Paula, Fly So High, to me are the 2 horses I really want to be using in multiple race wagers. I think I would be using Sultry as a backup. Take Charge Paula at these odds, and maybe these odds will not be these odds at post time. 5-1, though, on the morning line, I think is fair for Take Charge Paula. I do think that Fly So High, number 8, off those 2 big figures, though, going to be very dangerous. I went 6, 8, 4, and 7 in the Grade 2 Davona Dale Stakes. Again, if you're playing from home, please consider DRF bets. $200 free bet, no deposit required at drf.com/join. Use the promo code FREEBET09. Approximate post time for the Davona Dale, race number 8, 3 o'clock Eastern. Good luck.